What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with the one, the only
Gershwan!
Today we're back to answer more questions from you guys in another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And that's actually what Isaac Langdon has done. He asks, what would the birth of the God Emperor look like? Would he claim all human souls like Slaanesh did with the Eldar? That's actually a really good question, and it is because, it seems like 10th edition is going to bring a lot of new things.
Yeah.
Bringing a God Emperor would be, monumental, and it would fit what basically GW has been doing with, the Primaris and focusing on the Imperium.
Mm-hmm. However, I don't think that's going to happen because you got to bring back the Primarks first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Emperor is the end-all, be-all thing. The humanity is down in the dirt. They're getting their ass kicked, and the only hope is the Emperor. So that's why I don't think it'll happen. But say for some reason they decide stocks are down, COVID's got us beat. We need something to boost morale, and that is
the Emperor. Yeah, him coming back, I think there is no way around a psychic scream Slaanesh. So what you basically said, Isaac, is when Slaanesh was born, it consumed the souls of basically the core empire of the Eldar. Mm-hmm. However, if that happens in today's Imperium, that means Terra and the Sol system is destroyed.
Well, the good thing is that there are billions upon trillions upon quadrillions of human lives out there. Oh, yeah. So if he does take a huge portion of that, humanity still has a lot of population left. The thing is, all those people is what the Imperium relies on for their resources, their manpower, their army, to get the manufactorums going, to farm. They are going to be heavily hurt by this.
Yeah. It would be kind of an interesting what if scenario, though, a theory. If Terra and the Sol system were destroyed, like you said, Mars is gone, which is the fabrication center of everything. Terra is gone, which is the core of the entire Imperium. Mm-hmm. However, you have what is it called? The Imperium Secundus?
Yes.
Which is basically Ultramar. So you still have Ultramar being far away enough that if the Emperor's psychic scream were to happen and Chaos God of the Light did consume the souls of the Terran humanity or the people in the Sol system, I do feel you still have, like you said, the rest of humanity is still out there.
Yeah.
And then more focus will be on Ultramar and basically that whole sector.
Oh, for sure. Humanity definitely would have to adapt to survive. However, hope will be revitalized.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Emperor coming back as a god is definitely going to be a huge thing that the ecclesiarchy is going to push to give those surviving humans that didn't get sucked up by the Emperor hope, and to work harder and to basically say your life isn't just yours anymore. You have to work twice as hard, 3 times as hard to, basically push yourselves towards this Emperor that has chosen you to survive and to push forth his plans.
Yeah. On the other hand, too, the birth of the God Emperor could mean nothing. He comes in, the shining light, raindrops and gumdrops and all that, and that nothing might happen. If that's the case, it would be a cop-out by GW.
They're basically just saying, you like the 30K Emperor, well, here he is again.
And I think that would really, put a damper in the grim darkness of the universe.
Yes, for sure.
Because we're supposed to be over here, excited that death and destruction is going to occur, but in reality, no. It's kind of cool, and it's kind of an interesting concept if the God Emperor was created and he killed a lot of humanity to create, it's almost like a resentment.
Yeah.
Sure, the God Emperor is here, and sure, there's hope, and we probably have saints and Primarks and stuff like that, but how many lives had to be taken up? Which is kind of what's happening now with how many psychers have to be sacrificed every day. Football fields worth of human psychers have to be sacrificed every day.
Yeah. Just
to feed the corpse Emperor. That's why you should just throw your hat in with chaos and just become a chaos worshiper.
Yeah, why not? I mean, they got Skittles.
They do.
Yeah. If you guys want more information and theory crafting behind this, I did do a whole what if, like Warhammer 40K, and that's basically it, the resurrection of the Emperor. So check out the death of 40K. I go in depth. I go basically what's going to lead up to that, and then what happens afterwards. A little cool fan theory that I got, so check it out.
Yes. Now we're moving on to the next question. I have one by Terrell the Goat. Could a full-grown Krork kill a Primark? Now, a Krork is basically just like what orcs used to be called. And I've said this multiple times. Krork were basically just orcs when the WAAAGH clan was in control. And there was like organization, and they were very militaristic. Once the big party happened and all the other clans were basically broke apart, that's when they just became regular old orcs. So when you think of a Krork, it's not like a super amazing thing.
Like the beast. It's not like they were all that big and powerful.
Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of WAAAGH orcs. So think of like the Storm Boys and basically orcs that wear boots and berets and march and do really unorky things. So could they beat a Primark? No.
Yeah, they're just more disciplined is the word.
Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh.
Which I think the thing that the orcs have going for them is their bestial nature. Mm-hmm. The whole thing of them, they're just being savages. They're going to rip you apart with choppa and slugga and shootas and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's actually in one of the codex. I think it's 5th edition codex. It says like there's an inquisitor, or it might be a commissar who's just like surveying the orc battlefield, and then he realized that like the reason the orcs are so successful is because they're not like humans and they're not like Eldar in that they stop to think like, what's my purpose? What's the meaning of this? Orcs don't give a fuck. They are animals. They would just want to kill, and because of that, they've been able to, expand throughout the galaxy and just consume.
Exactly.
Like the Nids.
Yeah. The only reason why discipline and like militaristic order does so well for like the Gretchen is because the Gretchen need that to survive. They're not as big and as powerful as orky as orcs. So that's their way of like moving up on the orc ladder.
So for you guys watching at home, just remember, stop thinking so hard. Just live.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one's by Super Action General. Who would win in a war between the Necrons and the Nids?
That's a tough one because the Nids aren't as unified as you might think. Tendrils fight each other. And then at the same time, Necron dynasties are not as unified as you think. They fight each other.
Yeah. So let's say for some reason, like the hive mind managed to get all the tendrils and everything on one particular point that they needed to do, and the Silent King managed to gather up all the Necron dynasties for one particular action point, and they met head on. That's going to be an interesting fight. It's basically going to be a battle of technology against instinctual and primal behavior.
It's definitely horde versus calculated numbers.
Yes.
And based on, I think it was the Blood Angels fighting the Tyranids, and then the Necrons arrived, and then the Necrons basically were just like, hey, we'll let you fight the Tyranids and we won't kill you.
Yeah.
That goes to show you that the Necrons didn't need help from the Blood Angels to kill the Tyranids. They wanted, obviously, the Blood Angels to use up their resources, which makes me feel like if all of the Tyranids were to unify, that are in the Milky Way galaxy right now, not like
the tendrils that are outside the galaxy.
Yeah, but if they were to fight all the dynasties that were awakened, or if all the dynasties awakened, I think the Necrons got it.
Yeah.
Technology, yeah.
Because they both have ways to like recoup their numbers, where like if a Necron warrior falls, he'll just get back up again with the Necrodermis. Or they'll get sucked back into the tomb world, where they'll get fixed up and pushed out via the monoliths. Whereas when Tyranids die, they basically get put into the vats, get sent back into like their Norn queen ships or whatever, and then they'll get spat back out better, faster, stronger. So the thing is, like, Necron technology deatomizes and like pulls apart at the very core, the very atoms of these warriors, where most Tyranids, they've got like acid, nails, teeth, claws. Like, I don't think that'll do as much damage to these Necrons as the Necron weaponry will do it to them. So that's where I think they've got the advantage. Plus they have the Catan.
Yeah, that's true. Which is godlike powers. Shards or no shards.
Right.
But like I think you got it. Where it's like science versus bestial like technology.
Yeah.
So think of like Bill Nye the Science Guy competing against the Boomafoo. Obviously, you always wanted to watch Bill Nye the Science Guy. That's why he's still around.
Right.
Where's the Boomafoo? Dead.
Yeah. No Krat brothers helping him.
Lemurs don't live that long.
Bill Nye is forever.
Yeah. Next question. I think it's funny now that how Bill Nye has become so, what is it called? Like black and white. You either hate him or you love him.
Decisive?
Decisive. There you go. Next question.
This one's by Ngot. I want to learn more about the Eldar, but where can I learn more about them besides the Codex? Also, I love the new format. Please keep it.
We have a playlist for Eldar, which is pretty nice. We don't focus too much on them just because people don't care.
Yeah.
Like we'll post, I don't know, like a 20-minute long video on the Eldar, and it gets like 3,000 views.
Whereas you talk about Space Marines.
5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then boom, 10,000. So.
So they do have novels out there, but usually they're sharing the spotlight with like some Space Marine or Rogue Trader. So it is kind of hard to find a Eldar specific story. There are a bunch of fanfics that do talk about the Eldar. Besides that, yeah, like Codex. Yeah, Codex is your best bet. However, if you want to see some animations on that, Warhammer Plus has the Exodite out, which makes it seem like it's all about the Tau, but an Exodite is an Eldari warrior. So check that out, I guess.
Yeah. I haven't heard that much buzz around that either.
It got a lot of buzz the first episode because it's like, oh, look at this animation. It's pretty cool. Like, GW hasn't done this style before. And then episode 2 came out and the animation got worse.
Sounds like what GW does.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Horus Heresy trailer?
It was all right. Like, it looks pretty cool, but like the more I look at it, the more like toys the Marines look like.
Yeah, because like Forge World came out with their, I don't know if it was a catalog.
Yes.
They had pictures and stuff, and that's exactly what it looks like.
It's basically an advertisement for buyer models.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're going in the right direction. I feel like with the animation of the Space Marine getting his armor put on. We've seen that chances are GW's not doing this themselves. They're like hiring other studios to animate and do this stuff for them. And we've seen some pretty awesome animations, such as the intro to 9th edition with like the Necrons against the Sisters of Battle and the Primarks Marines. The Inquisitor game had some awesome cutscenes and animations.
The second Space Marine?
Yeah.
With the Tyranids?
Yep. Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got good stuff here and there, but it's too few, and like, it's funny because like you would expect this type of quality to be on their subscription service, something you have to pay to see, and no. Hammer and Bolter's on there, and it looks like some of you said it's like a moving animation, like a slideshow. So yeah, it's hit and miss with GW's animations, but they know what's good. They just don't do it often.
I do like now. I'm starting to realize that they're kind of in the same boat that we are, where like we can produce a lot of content that's not like all that great, but it might be better just to chill and then like put out really good short, smaller content that's more of quality, because isn't their schedule like weekly? Like, aren't they trying to post a new video weekly? Yeah.
Well, they're trying to. They said it was an animation every week, plus like you'll get lore masters painting stuff, but they haven't done that.
Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes you get a whole week with no animations, or you get like a week with like 2 animations. So it's like,
Because maybe that's the problem. They put goals that are too crazy for them.
Yeah.
And now they're burning out.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's just us. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a very interesting, tricky topic, especially when like you got to play to the algorithms.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can't spend as much time as you want to on certain videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you got to find that sticky medium that's like not too much bad, not too much good, and it's like right in the middle.
Or support us on Patreon. That also helps.
There you go. A simple dollar goes a long way.
There you go. This is the last question. This comes from T-Swim92. Did one of y'all move so now the Greater WAAAGH is filmed remotely? No. This is still my crib. We're just filming somewhere else because my office is ruined by all the projects that I started and I never finished. And there's thumbtacks on the ground.
Yeah. You guys don't want to see our bleeding feet. You don't even see our feet anyway, so I guess we could do it still.
But if you guys want to see our feet, Patreon.
Yeah.
We'll sell feet pics.
There you go.
With miniatures, like in between the toes. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out with us, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
That's right. This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
And we are out.
Oh, I used to put my